we finally found some shade, and that's really hard to do because we're in Vegas!
Woo!
So, Rhett had a great idea for the intro to this video. Rhett, what was your idea?
We should have filmed in front of Treasure Island, where we are now, and said, we're here in Vegas for CES, a veritable treasure island of consumer electronics. Huh?
So Rhett's here to write the jokes, and I'm here to approve them. That's how this is going to work out. So what is the plan for this week, and why are we here? Well, the plan for today is just to walk around Vegas and find something to do, which we found pretty much the only thing to do is to drink 2 cocktails and then lose $30 in the slot machines. Besides drinking and gambling all of our money away, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of, Rhett, what is the actual plan that we have for the week?
So tomorrow is Media Day, and we're going to be attending all of the press releases, finding out the things that we need to be keeping our eye on throughout the year. And then Tuesday, CES gets off to its formal start, and we're going to be walking the showroom floor, finding the most exciting things, the most dramatic, the most climactic things that CES has to offer.
Well, at least the things that interest us.
Absolutely.
And that's going to wrap up our Sunday vlog, mainly because we met up with Brian from Tech Yes City and had a couple beers with him. Brian, you rock, man. Anyway, today's the end of Monday, and there's already been a couple of press conferences that have been had by MSI, Gigabyte, and nVidia, and we're going to kind of recap our reactions to those press conferences. We'll start with nVidia that happened last night on Sunday, and they announced the RTX 2060 after about an hour of recapping their press conference from Gamescom back in August. So once they actually got to the point, the 2060 is official at 1920 CUDA cores and 6 gigabytes of GDDR6. Now, NVIDIA claims performance-wise, it will be about equivalent to a GTX 1070 Ti. I'm pretty excited by that based on the price point of just $349. That is a price point that is really a really sweet spot for a lot of manufacturers to get into. And honestly, less expensive than I thought it was going to be. One of the more impressive things that NVIDIA showed at the press conference yesterday was the RTX 2060 playing Battlefield 5 at 60 frames per second at 1440p with RTX enabled. Now, we all know that the RTX cards have been a little underwhelming when it comes to RTX performance, given the price point of all these cards. Now, the way it did this was through the use of DLSS, which is one of the first times we've seen this used in a AAA game, Final Fantasy 15 aside.
NVIDIA also announced a 2060, 2070, and 2080 variants for mobile, as well as Max-Q design for that thin and light laptop design.
And just like the previous generation of the mobile chips, these are the full desktop chips with full RTX core counts.
And we went to the MSI presser this morning, and one of the big takeaways for me was the GS75 Stealth laptop. This thing is a 17-inch Max-Q design, so you know it's going to be thin, light, and quiet. It's got a 144 hertz screen, a full RTX 2080, and it only comes in at 2.28 pounds.
Very, very impressive package for how small it is. And again, because it's Max-Q, you know it's going to be fast, and it's also going to be very, very quiet, which is one of the more impressive things to me.
The way they achieved this was with a much beefier cooler. It has 7 heat pipes and 3 fans.
One of the things MSI also pointed out to us was they increased the size of the trackpad from the previous GS65 35%, mainly focusing on the usability of the laptop for everyday tasks, because not everyone is gaming all the time. Sometimes you just need to browse Reddit. They also collaborated with SteelSeries to create a very, very nice gaming keyboard for this, and of course, it's got perky RGB lighting. At the Gigabyte press event this afternoon, they introduced quite a few new products. Chief among them was definitely the brand new flagship Z390 RS Extreme Waterforce motherboard. And I need my phone because the list of features is quite long. Let's start at the top. It features an Aquanta 10 gigabit Ethernet, Thunderbolt 3, 3 M.2 NVMe slots, a 16-phase VRM, and a freaking monoblock. They also introduced a new flagship monitor they're calling a tactical monitor, and much like the motherboard we just talked about, has pretty much every feature you could ever want. 144Hz, 1440p, 27-inch, 10-bit color, HDR, G-Sync, and an IPS panel.
And hot on the heels of the nVidia release, Gigabyte unveiled 3 of their own RTX 2060 designs. They are the Gaming OC, the WindForce, and the Mini ITX, all to be released on January 15th. And of course, when we have more details, so will you.
This is going to wrap up our Day Zero coverage of CES 2019. Definitely stay tuned to the channel for more news and more videos to follow in the days to come. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to like this video, and we will see you in the next one.